Today we're gonna be reviewing a low player's account. I'll be talking about whether it's worth it to play Genshin Impact in 2025. Hopefully this advice will be helpful to others as well.
Ooh. What the heck? Kirara is dead. We are playing as Kashina in Inazuma. Watatumi Island to be specific. They have a returning thingy. I'm assuming didn't play in a while, but that's okay. So they are level 34. What are we looking at? Let me check the map first to see how far they've gone. Okay. Sunnyvale, Fontaine. What the heck? 34 in Fontaine already? Holy. Whoa, Summer too? Oh, Natla too? What the heck? Smart. Very smart. What the resin? Has anyone seen the resin? Rookie mistake. I thought I would expect to see this, but I did not expect it at the same time. Oh my god, the rookie mistake. No! It's not Jover, it's not Jover. They still have some fragile resin, which is good. The first thing I want to comment on, when you're a new player, you don't really need resin that much, right? As a new player, you mostly just need the level up materials for characters, like not the actual bosses and stuff, just the books. Like, let me show you. So you see, you need these and Mora as a low player, because the moment you hit AR 45, you are ready to like farm for artifacts, even bosses, because you get even more drops for them. You also get even more drops for that, like in general, like any drops you want. These, you're gonna get the bigger ones. The higher the level you have, the better. You're gonna get even more materials. Focus on getting Mora, focus on getting wits. Speaking of the with the resin, since you only use it for Mora and wits, you don't really need that much. You can just use the daily one, the 200 one. You're gonna have enough to just get every day. 5 runs should be enough. By the time you reach AR 45, you should be like rich. You don't have to worry about leveling your characters right now. If they feel a bit weak, just put some random artifacts or weapons on them, so it should be fine. As you can see, this is fragile resin, and I'm assuming you know how it works since you already used it. You can use this to get more resin, but you have to save this up until much later, like when you start with artifacts and stuff. After that, you can use them whenever you want. For now, you don't really need them. It's not necessary. Just do more and wits and you'll be fine. I have a question for like new players and stuff, or more questions actually. Like, what do you play the game for? Do you play for the characters, for collecting characters? Do you play for meta? Do you play for combat? Or do you play for gameplay? Do you play for the story? Whichever you choose is whatever you want to focus on. If you want to focus on story, just do story. Don't bother much with builds unless you really want to be decent. If you play for gameplay or like combat, if you really like the combat, then I would say yeah, you can focus on building characters, invest into getting better weapons. I would not recommend pulling on the weapon banner though. Yeah, it's scary. I would just recommend looking up guides. For example, you can watch YouTube guides. You can also just look up like infographics. Those are really useful as well. But if they're confusing, you can ask someone about it and that should be fine. So let me see what characters they have. They don't have that many. They do have Zhongli. Respect. It's a must-have. It's a must-have. He's level almost 40. Does he have anything on him? No? Okay. They don't really have that many weapons, of course. If you really worry about leveling characters, or if you want to make them decent enough so that you can complete the Ascension domains, even though I'm pretty sure they're pretty easy right now, make sure to level them to at least 60, because I think you can level them up to 60 when you're like level, what, 45? I don't know. I would say just go for 60 for now. For example, don't level up all the characters. Not all at the same time. Level up the characters you like. Level up the characters you think are useful to you. Just don't level them up at the same time. For weapons, try to look at infographics and what's best for them. You may not have many right now, but if you get into the gacha and start pulling for stuff, you're gonna, you know, get more and more weapons. You can use those. The R5 is okay in this. I'm pretty sure you can use this weapon on Zhongli if you want to use him. Since he's a shielder, you would do great, because if you struggle to fight and stuff, especially if you're a mobile player, you can use him. For artifacts, I wouldn't worry much about artifacts. Do try to learn what stats they need. For example, Zhongli needs HP, right? So you would want to put an HP Sands on him, put HP Goblet on him, and also put HP Circlet on him. Constellations, hopefully they don't have any constellations on their 5 stars, because that would be sad. Speaking of constellations, I don't recommend pulling for constellations on characters simply because you would be better off with new characters instead. Just get like a new character that you like. If you really want like much later, you can save up for constellations and get them. For now, they're not really really important. I mean, for example, for Zhongli, you don't really need C1 because C1 is pretty useless. It just has like 2 more pillars, but that's it. Talents, you can see that there's a talent upgrade reference. You can use this for reference, and it says what you should level up first, what you should focus on. You can use this to level up your talents. You don't really have to look them up, you know. For example, Zhongli's priorities to level his shield, and then you can level his burst, which does geo damage. I would say don't really level his normal attack because it's kind of useless, because you don't really do normal attacks with him. You just use him as shield or damage dealer like me. Unless you really like him, you can triple crown him, which is understandable. That's the overall for characters in general. Let me see your Diluc. No constellations, that's fine. So you don't have any other 5-star characters besides these 2. I'm assuming you don't really pull for characters? You do pull for characters and you're broke. They don't really play that much, which is okay. So I'm assuming they just play whenever they feel like it. That gives us an idea that you can just pull for whoever you like on the banner. Honestly, don't recommend randomly pulling for whatever characters on the banner. Pull for characters you really like. If you like their gameplay, if you like their personality, if you don't pull. It's not worth it. You might regret it later. Weapons, did they? Okay, so only 2 wishes. I'm assuming they never did any other pulls on the weapon banner. In terms of the weapon banner, I would say if you have some spare pulls, you can use those to get a weapon. If you're broke, I would not recommend to go for it because there's 2 chances. You lose and you don't have enough time to get the weapon. If you lose, that does not go on to the next banner. Just go for the weapon if you really can afford it. But don't feel pressure to get it because there's always reruns. You can always get it next time. You don't really have to get it like right on the spot. Just don't worry much about that. The same with the characters. If you lose 50-50 and you don't have enough time to get them or not enough pulls, then once again, don't feel pressure to like start farming just to get a character because you would get overwhelmed and then you get burnt out and then you don't like the game as much. Just play it at your own pace and you're gonna be fine. As for the standard banner, you can pull anytime you want. Just don't use privileges. Just use the ones that you have, like the blue ones. You can complete whatever quests you want. Take them at your own pace. If you really have the time, you can start this. If you get bored, you can take a break from it. You don't really have to do it. But the one that it's important, probably the Archon quest. If you want to be up to date with that one, because later it starts being like very long, I would say try to catch up with that. But yeah, events don't come back. Only some of them, but they might be like revamped. Like they would be a bit different. So if you see that an event gives a free character, try to get that. Or if it's like a weapon, also do that as well. You're gonna get a whole new weapon, and usually the weapons in the event are really good. I wonder if they know about the pity or how it works. The pity is simple. You get like a small chance to get the character on the banner. Like right now it's Varesa. You can pull. There's a chance you will get her, but there's also a chance that you will get one of the standard characters right here. So if you get one of these, you basically lost 50-50 and your pity resets to 0. Then you will guarantee getting that character, but you still have to pull. Soft pity is at 75. I know it's quite a lot, but that's how it is. Sometimes you can get early, which is good too. If you go over 85, which I think it's impossible personally because I've never seen it, that's absolutely insane. Make sure you actually read your pity, right? Like in the history. You can see it right here. You also have Star Glitter Exchange. You can save them up. You don't really have to use them to get wishes. You can save them up and get some of the weapons on here. Right now, they're not the right ones. There should be like red ones. They reset every month. So basically, 3 days ago, there was Blackcliff weapons. You could get like any of them because they have crit damage stats. They're pretty decent. They're not amazing, but you could save up like 24 of these and get one weapon from here. Don't use them on the blue ones. You don't really need them, as I said. Just use the blue ones from wherever you get them, like quests or characters. That's fine. And then you got Stardust Exchange. You can use to get wishes, of course. If you have a lot of them, always get these. Especially get these first and then these second. You can also get some of the materials in the shop. You can see here that this is an infographic. You can use this as a reference. So I'm gonna explain some stuff on it. We have here like weapons, and then for Vonius Lance, this works pretty good on him if you want to build him as like support. If you get that one as a 4-star, you can put it on him. And then talent priority, just like in the character showcase, basically skill, and then leveling him up to 90 because his ascension gives HP. If you see a character that ascends with crit rate or crit damage, that is a must. So get them to level 90 if you can. It also shows artifact sets. This is what you can use on him. You can use 4-piece scroll, you can use 4-piece Petra, you can use 4-piece tenacity. All of those work on him. Other artifacts don't really work that well on him. Main stats: HP sands, HP goblet, and HP circlet or crit rate. For sub substats, again, more HP basically, if you want to use him as a support, and perhaps crit rate. And sometimes ER, for example, if you want his burst to get up really fast, so you need around 100 or 110. Seems a lot, but if you can get that as a substat, it's fine. And then it also talks about who you can use Zhongli with. So you can use him in different teams. For example, you can play him with Lini. You can use him as a shield for Lini. You can use him in a Geo team. So you can use him with Ito. You can use him with Navia, any Geo character. Playstyles, it says how you can play the character. Catching mains, I think they do pretty good guides if you don't really like watching someone, for example, Ziox. Getting back to the account. Right now, on your account, I would say try to level up Bennett. Bennett is a really good character. So even if you don't have a good build on him, he's still gonna be a good character. Xingqiu is also a good character. Zhongli, Shanling. If you ever get any Dendro characters, use Cookie. Like for example, Nahida. If you get Nahida, use Cookie with her. I would say use Goro if you get any Geo characters like Ito. If you really like these characters, you can level them up. You can play them however you want. For your Traveler, try to get Dendro Traveler because they're the most useful one out of all of them. They're not that amazing, so I'm pretty sure Dendro one is still the best one. The Hydra one, don't bother with that. Inazuma one, don't bother with that either. If you just want more Dendro characters, you can use Dendro Traveler and you're gonna be fine. So you see these elixirs, try to save them up. You can use them to make artifacts. Get an artifact of your choice with whatever substats you want and main stat. I would say it's a scam. In my case, it never really worked, but it's your choice. You can do whatever you want. You can try it. From what I'm seeing here, you also have a lot of sigils. I'm pretty sure you can use the animal and geo sigils to get some materials, so that should be useful. You can go to, for example, for leeway, you can go here. Okay, so this is the shop. You can exchange your stuff here. You can get a lot of these whenever you need them, but once you get them all, you won't have any other way to get them, right? So from this shop, I would say what's most important is these. So these thingies I'm clicking on right now, right? You can only get these from the weekly bosses. So sometimes they might not drop these. If you get these from the bosses, that's really good. If you don't, you can get them from here if you really need them. With these, I would recommend that you use a map, like the interactive map, in the ones that you have gotten. You see, when you click on a specific flower or, I don't know, any material, it says go to collect, and then it shows you on the map where they are, which is very useful. I would recommend you to cook a lot of like goods with good buffs. For example, some of them might give crit rate or crit damage. Sweet Madame is one of the best you can use. Also, try to get the stamina. When you level up a statue, it gives you stamina, so try to work on that. You see dispatch character on expedition. Since the Sweet Madame needs the sweet flower, you can do this. You can send your characters every day to the expedition for the flowers. You can also send your characters for these. I would say the most important things you should send your character for in these is this one, because it gives both eggs and flowers, which are useful for cooking. You can also send for Mora. If this is really important, this and the 4-hour one, you can send 2 different characters, one for this one and one for this one. Well, technically speaking, it's best if you send one for this one, but if you also send one for this one, you get even more iron chunks. Try to get a habit of like picking up any flower you see or anything. Fishing, if you want, for example, if you ever get Raiden, you can get the catch for her and you would have to farm for fish. Also, these crystal cores, they are very important. Instead of using your entire resin at the same time, and because one domain is like 20, you don't really have to do all those runs. I don't know if you have it, but you can use the crystal cores to like condense your resin, which means making it like smaller and smaller quantities, and you can only do like 5 runs instead of, I don't know. So try to do this only level 3, so you can do some leeway quests and get this condensed resin. You have to make it. You can do bounties or you can do weekly quests. Some of the reputation thingies give you useful stuff. Focus on one region at a time, get it done, and then move on to the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one, and get all of them, and you're gonna get useful stuff. Also, I recommend you to do these domains. See, you get like primogems, you also get a key, and you also get materials and artifacts. Only clear Dragon Spine with a high AR player. It is law, it is tradition. I agree. You're gonna get to some point in Dragon Spine where you might need a player to help you with a certain challenge, unless you're really good. I forgot Abyss. I wouldn't say you should bother with it right now, because you're low player, you don't really have to do it. I know it gives primogems, it may be tempting, it's a bit hard. You can try to do it up to 8. Try to use the right teams. You can click on these and see what type of character you need. If it's Electro, don't bring Electro. Bring Pyro, for example, or Cryo, or anything else. Try to do this. Once you get to, I don't know, AR 55, I would say you can focus on the rest of the Abyss if you really can do it. For now, don't really bother with it. Same with IT. I don't think you have it unlocked. If you can afford, you don't really have to, but if you really want to save up in a faster way, you can go for the Welkin. If you can afford that, it's fine. Or you can go for the Battle Pass, which also gives you a weapon of your choice, a lot of materials. So these two are worth it. The rest, if you're a well and you want to spend a lot of money, then you can go for the rest. But other than that, I don't recommend spending money on the game. It's free to play and I think it's quite generous. You can get a lot of primogems just from playing every patch, to be fair. So you don't really have to get them. But if you really want to, only do Welkin you are sure you can log in every day on time. Exactly, yeah. If not, then don't get it because that's gonna be a waste, because you have to claim it every single day. Same with the Battle Pass. Only get it if you're level 30. Other than that, if you're far behind, then it's not really worth it. I want to thank you for all the support throughout my videos, but it is time I slowly stop making Genshin content. If you are here for Genshin videos, I'm really sorry. I really hope you enjoyed my content, but I do not want to continue growing with this game. I want to get more into variety and real life video. New channel coming soon, but if you choose to stick around regardless of my content, I would really appreciate it. And don't forget to join our amazing Discord server where we casually host community events, movie nights, game nights, competitions, and sometimes giveaways. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.